UUB Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
We got a 3-time Super Bowl champ in the house, and we got history that's going to be made on the ice in South Florida. What a day to be alive on Theoretically Speaking.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
The man your man could smell it.
Theo Dorsey is Theoretically Speaking.
But are you a different animal and the same beast?
What does that mean, Kobe Bryant?
Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
It's not every day that you are in the presence of football royalty. I'm not just talking about through Palm Beach County, but really here in the great U.S. We're blessed today on a Monday for Theoretically Speaking. It's your boy Theo Dorsey, C-Cat on the ones and twos. And if you're tapped in on YouTube, and if you've been paying attention on the social medias, you'll see and know exactly who I'm sitting across from. And that's Terry Bradden Jr., assistant defensive line coach for the Kansas City Chiefs, the back-to-back champion Chiefs. And he's got 3 Super Bowl rings behind his name, as well as, I mean, to be honest with you, man, you are one of the brightest stars in coaching in the game right now, especially out of this area. I know that you don't want to probably harp on it or talk about it, but you are going to be a head football coach someday for a program that we all know and love and care about. And I'm just glad that you pulled up on this Duffy's MVP Monday, on this Monday following an amazing weekend to chop it up, talk some ball. How you doing, Terry?
I'm doing great. I'm just happy to be here with you, Theo. You're doing an awesome job. Just happy to be home for a while before we get things kicked off with training camp. Going in with my 8th season is just a blessing. I'm just happy to be here.
That's the thing, man. You have been now doing this at the NFL level for quite some time, and you've been doing it for the perfect organization that keeps on winning. I say perfect, obviously, because I am a member of Chiefs Kingdom as a fan, but then also the way that you got there. We're going to do a little quick icebreaker with you, but before we do, I love when you tell the story of how you were going to Orlando and you met with a certain Hall of Famer and everything in your life changed, and that's what sparked your journey to the Kansas City Chiefs. You're from Riviera Beach. You were the youngest head football coach in the state of Florida at one point for Inlet Grove, and everything for you, it just feels like, you know, I'm a big Dawn Staley fan. You said you like Dawn Staley as well.
Love her. I love her.
She said after that national championship for the South Carolina Gamecocks, she mentioned uncommon favor. Uncommon favor, and that's what it feels like a guy like yourself has. Can you talk about that story briefly, just when you went to Orlando to work the Pro Bowl as an intern, when you were with Bethune-Cookman as a coach, and how your life kind of changed in that moment?
Oh, man, it was all just a blessing in the moment at the time where I had the opportunity to be with the NFL experience with Troy Vincent's staff and Kimberly Fields and Akil and the great people with the NFL, and I had an opportunity just to be an intern, making sure people go to practice, making sure the players go to community service events. And one morning, one breakfast changed my life. And the gentleman I was sitting down talking to for a while was Emmett Thomas. Emmett Thomas introduced me to Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz introduced me to Coach Reed. 3 weeks later, Eric Bieniemy called me, and I'm going on my 8th year with the Chiefs, going on my 3rd Super Bowl ring. And it's just been a blessing because it's all God. I was just in the right place at the right time. And God has been good to me my whole life. That's why it's important for me to always come back and inspire the kids. Tomorrow I'm going to the Boys and Girls Club to talk, uplift them and inspire them. So it's just important for me to always come back, show my face, and be here.
I love that you said that, because when you go do that at the Boys and Girls Club and when you do that coaches clinic, you're being somewhat of a huge value to the community. We do on Mondays here. We do Duffy's MVP Mondays from the weekend, where we talk about the great players, athletes, coaches, or even media members that made an impact over the weekend, and I give out candidates. So bear with me here as I give out my very first Duffy's MVP candidate from the weekend, and it's somebody else who hails from Palm Beach County. It's somebody who is now potentially going to be $270 million richer. The 22-year-old all-star guard for the Toronto Raptors, Scotty Barnes. Adrian Wojnarowski reported this afternoon that Scotty Barnes and the Toronto Raptors are intending on signing a 5-year maximum rookie extension. And the most important part about this is it's right now going to be around $225 million. It can be as much as $270 million if he's able to make All-NBA and turn that thing into a Supermax contract. So Scotty Barnes, my very first Duffy's MVP candidate of the weekend. We'll see who the rest are, as well as pick our MVP of the weekend And because we have you here, Terry Bradden Jr., and because you're coming in here with the Super Bowl aura, your wife is wearing the In Spags We Trust shirt here. I'm feeling like we're right here in the presence of champions because I am. We do have to do our Palm Beach County Supervisor of Elections poll of the week. And that one is, which team is most likely to complete the three-peat? Which team is most likely to complete the three-peat between the Kansas City Chiefs, the Las Vegas Aces, and the UConn men's basketball team? Each team has won back-to-back.
Right.
If the Chiefs are able to do it this year,
God's willing,
it would be the first all-time in the NFL.
Hey, God's willing.
Unprecedented. So I'll get your answer on that in a few, but I want to direct people to our Twitter page at ESPN West Palm, and I want you guys to tap in and let us know which team is most likely to complete the three-peat. It's our poll of the week. The UConn men's basketball team, the Chiefs, and the Aces. Right now, the Chiefs coming in at just 20% on our polls. So we got to see. We got to pump those numbers up.
Hey, that's all right. We always have some adversity. Just give us some more motivation going to training camp.
More motivation, and I don't know if the Chiefs even need any more to continue that success, but of course you always keep those things, those chips on the shoulder. The Palm Beach County Supervisor of Elections poll of the day. Remember, the August primary elections are coming up, August 20th. That's right around the corner, and eligible voters can vote in one of three ways. You either do it by mail at an early voting location from August 10th through August 18th, or you wait until Election Day from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Make sure you visit votepalmbeach.gov to view your status and learn more. A voter can change parties. Actually, you know, Florida is actually a closed primary state, which means that a voter can only vote for candidates within the voter's same party. You already knew that. But well, you know this. You can vote at votepalmbeach.gov. Make sure you check your status and make sure you are eligible to vote, and we'll see you at the polls. All right. C-Cat, I think it's time for us to get to know Terry Bradden Jr. We'll ask you some hot seat, speed dating style questions here.
Let's do it.
And the assistant defensive line coach for the Kansas City Chiefs, we reintroduce you to the community that you know and love so well. We start you off with an easy one. What's your favorite Olympic sport to watch?
It got to be the 4x1 because I believe I could be the first leg right now.
Now, did you run any track back in Inlet Grove back in the day?
I was on the Fat Boy 4x1. My wife don't believe me, but I was the first leg, and the track meet was at Benjamin.
Okay.
Yeah, and I
How did y'all
lost.
perform? Yeah.
But it got to be the 4x1. That's my favorite one to watch.
Got to be the 4x1, one of the most electric events. Can't wait to see that one in Paris. Getting to know Terry Bradden Jr., assistant defensive line coach for the Kansas City Chiefs. How about we talk about the grill? It's summertime vibes. Which type of grill are you? Charcoal, pellet, or gas?
I'm charcoal all the way. I'm scared of the gas.
Yeah.
You know, I live in the Midwest. I just got my fire place expecting it was gas. I'm like, nah, I'm charcoal all the way.
Can't mess with that. You're right, though. You get a little, you hear them stories, you're like, I don't want no parts.
No part of it.
Yeah, I'm a pellet grill guy.
Okay.
Only because I'm also a rookie on it, so I'm getting my starter, my training wheels off soon. But I just tried some ribs the other day. I tried the slow and low. Things was tough.
Okay.
Things was tough.
Hey, you got to come to the KC Way, Gates Barbecue.
There we go. Hook me up. Lock me in. I give you the remote controller right now, and you got an option between a WNBA game or an NHL game. Which one is Terry Bradden Jr. tapping into?
I'm watching the WNBA, man. Just growing up at the Boys and Girls Club, God bless his soul, Coach Neal, I was always around him. Even my wife played for the Extreme basketball team, was always around girls basketball sports. So I'm a Dawn Staley fan before she won all these championship rings.
Yeah.
I'm WNBA all the way.
Rock with it. I'll rock with it. Okay, you travel a lot as well. I actually ran into you at PBI
right.
a few weeks back when you were going to the NFL head coaching accelerator program. What's your what seat on the airplane is your go-to?
The cheapest. If it's Southwest, I'm going Southwest to just get on. And if it's Delta or if it's Getaway.
Yeah, want to get away.
You want to get away.
Whatever you got. So you'll do a middle seat.
Absolutely. Just know the people beside me going to have some elbow room. I'm 300 pounds, so I would be the worst one.
You're a former high school quarterback and college quarterback, but you do got some weight on you.
Yeah. That was 100 pounds ago. I'm trying to get right.
Yeah, look, well, you got some time. You got some time, man.
Right.
All right, second most important position in football. You're a former quarterback yourself. We know quarterback's the most important position in all of team sports. What's the second most important position in football right now?
To me, I'm a D-line coach. I'm going to say D-tackle Chris Jones. Just signed a big deal. Hey, started in them trenches. So we need a D-end, D-tackles. I'm going to give you two of them.
DN and D tackle.
We need the whole D-line. That's the second most important part.
I mean,
but you can't go nowhere if you don't have a quarterback.
I was going to ask, too, because I'm leaning towards wide receiver only because the way they were getting drafted and the way they're getting paid. Mm-hmm. But then you're with the Chiefs, and you guys haven't invested as heavily in the wide receiver position.
Right.
But first-round picks, you got George Karlaftis in there, you got FAU, and then, of course, Chris Jones anchoring the thing.
That's right. D-line. You got to start in them trenches.
That leads me to my next question as we get to know Terry Bradden Jr., assistant defensive line coach for the Kansas City Chiefs, also Riviera Beach native. If I put you in a room with a grizzly bear and I told you you get to pick 3 Kansas City Chiefs players, don't just got to be defensive linemen, but 3 Chiefs players to get you out of there. You and 3 players from the Kansas City Chiefs, who you rolling with?
Oh, man. I'm going to say George Karlaftis, Chris Jones, and Mike Dana. I'm going all D-line.
Dang, what am I like that.
I'm staying in the D-line room.
You might need an offensive lineman, though, that technique to push the bear up out the way so you can get out.
Yeah.
You're just trying to escape.
Yeah, I got my 3 right there, my three pillars.
Okay, got you. He's rocking with his fellas that's in the trenches with him. Terry Bradden Jr., again, rocking with us here, getting to know him on Theoretically Speaking. Now, you got a lot of ice on your hands these days. We got the picture up of you with the 3 Super Bowl rings. You've been there for all 3 of the Chiefs' recent ones. Which run felt the most rewarding to you?
Oh, man, Super Bowl 54 Live was the best one for me because my family, my mom, my dad, my son, my wife, her family just was all there to support me. It was awesome for my son to see those type of highlights.
Yeah.
Just us winning it in the Dolphin Stadium where I grew up watching, grew up wanting to play in one day. It was just inspirational for me, and it was like a surreal moment for me.
Pickleball or golf?
I'm getting better at golf.
I was about to say, watch yourself there, because when you tell people you can golf out here in South Florida, man, they're going to start inviting you.
They want to invite you. That's fine. I can play for free.
Yeah.
If it's free, give me 3.
What's your best club these days? Are you better on the green? You're at the irons?
I'm pitching wedge.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm strong. I can hit a pitching wedge at 150.
You know what? If you can be nasty with the wedges these days, that's where you get your money. That's where
right.
you get your money.
Right.
Terry Bradden Jr., getting to know him. And the last one, this one's going to decide whether or not I kick you off the show or we get to keep you through for the rest of this hour.
Let's do it.
Which one's the real HU?
Howard, all the way.
Oh, get him out of here.
Let's go.
Get him out of here. Terry Bradden Jr., who went to Howard University for 1 year.
That's right.
My rival, Hampton University, which I stayed off for. At least you made the wise decision of transferring to Tuskegee.
Right.
And I can appreciate that much.
HBCU through and through.
HBCU love through and through. Getting to know Terry Bradden Jr., brought to you by EDS Air Conditioning and Plumbing. I mean, if you get to know the fellas and the folks at EDS Air Conditioning and Plumbing, you're getting to know people who are pros in the game. They've been doing it since 2006. EDS Air Conditioning and Plumbing. EDS is, yes, I'm a Gold Plan member, which means I get 2 annual checkups, which means I know that if I need an emergency repair last minute, or if I start to see any differences with my air conditioning, I start seeing that thermostat rise up, I know exactly who I can call. I hop on the phone with EDS Air Conditioning and Plumbing. They're great about setting up appointments right around your schedule. So make sure you lock in with them. They're a trained comfort specialist, and it is so hard to stop a train. EDSairconditioning.com. Check out Ed Sasso and the guys. Tell them Theo Dorsey sent you. Woo, that was fun right there, man.
It was very exciting.
I'm surprised to know that you would actually take the middle seat in an airplane. I'm surprised.
Hey, man, I'm trying to get there.
Yeah.
I ain't waiting no time. I'm just trying to get there, and I stretch when I get off the plane.
There you go. That's not a bad way to do it. We are going to tap into plenty of things. Obviously, history was just made here on Theoretically Speaking. We've had Eli Manning on. Okay. We've had Chris Canty on, but we've never had anybody with 3 Super Bowl rings. Terry Bradden Jr. breaking that barrier for us. And tonight on the ice at Amerant Bank Arena, history going to be made between the Florida Panthers and the Edmonton Oilers. Either it's going to be a comeback of epic proportions where the Oilers top the Panthers on the road, or the Florida Panthers are going to win the very first Stanley Cup final in franchise history. Either way, we know hockey ends tonight. Hockey ends tonight, and we're going to move on to just baseball in the WNBA regular season, but plenty of stuff to get to, including a bold claim that Jason Tatum made. Before we go to the other side of the break, though, Terry, you are here for a specific reason. and it's a coaches clinic that you all have going on in Riviera Beach on July 12th. First, before we get into that, why do you take so much time out of your busy schedule? Why do you make sure to make it a point to give back to this area, this football area that helped mature you and grow you into the man you are today? But also, it seems like y'all stick together around here.
Yeah, this is a rich area of football. I always brag about it. The best football is in Palm Beach County. And it's very important to me to come back home. First, I saw Abram Elam when I was in TEAM Elam, and I saw him doing great things in the community, and always inspired me. If I get to a certain level in my career, I always want to come back and give back to the community. And one day I saw opportunity. I saw a high school football camp, a youth camp, and I was like, that's a one-day event. But what if we get an opportunity to help teach the coaches, because they can't go to certain coaching clinics. Mm-hmm. They can't go to the American Football Coaches Association. We could bring that here in Paradise. Coaching football, learning football in Paradise. And Paradise is Riviera Beach. So we're going to have it here July 12th at the marina in conjunction with TEAM Elam. We put this thing together. It's going to be an awesome event. We have a great lineup from Demir Bowden, coaching receivers, fundamentals, to all the way to Van Malone, assistant head coach at Kansas State, to the quarterback coach at the Tampa Bay Bucks, Thad Lewis. So it's got a great lineup, and myself, I'm gonna have a slot there for an hour where I'm talking about D-line play. So it's a great opportunity for the recreation coaches, high school coaches in the area, even coaches from the tri-counties to come up to just learn together and just come together. Because I know it's a lot going on with high school in this area, but this is a one opportunity and event where we all could come together and learn from one another, because Cover 2 is going to be Cover 2, and we got to understand that we can learn from each other and inspire the youth.
Love that. That's impactful right now. So if you're listening and that interests you, you're going to want to stick around, because we also have a special guest that's going to join us in the studio to talk specifically to it. And I'll give you a hint. I mean, you already mentioned him, Elam. He's an Elam that's pulling up with it. It's going to chop it up with us in the Anajar and Levine Accident and Attorney Studios. Y'all be safe on the roads here. Car accident, truck accident, slip and fall. Mark Anajar and Glenn Levine, they will fight for you. Well, it's because they don't get paid unless you do. They'll fight to get you the maximum compensation you deserve, so call Anajar and Levine for your free consultation. Don't just settle for any attorney. Demand Anajar and Levine. That's the Anajar and Levine difference. It takes just one phone call to take back control of your life. So take back control of your life. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. And that's right, I was not kidding. It's a 2-for-1 special. We're bringing in the godfather of football out here, it feels like. The first family, Abe Elam, is pulling up on Theoretically Speaking to talk about that coaching clinic, as well as what's it going to take here in Palm Beach County to get all the coaches, all of the football family on the right page, so maybe we could bring a state champion back to this area. That's Terry Bradden Jr. We got C-Cat on the ones and twos. Abe Elam on the other side, Theoretically Speaking, on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Hey, it's your boy JC. Good news. You miss me, I miss you. You don't have to. Brand new show exclusively on YouTube. It's Questionable Call with Josh Cohen. Open the search bar on YouTube and hit Questionable Call with Josh Cohen. Hit subscribe. Brand new episodes Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
When your team's best players have all been traded and the latest pick is overrated, just raise a glass with a friend or two and tell them more, tell them more, tell them more, do. May your team be great.